Alright everyone, we start off with a funny video, and it's not even about Beijing Biden, although we have to talk about him on a less funny subject as well today. There will be a pinned comment though first if you're watching on YouTube with links to 4 other video hosting sites that I use. You should join me on one or more of them very soon again. I will be making quite a bit of alt-tech exclusive content, so get while the getting's good, and right now I'm still making as well BitChute exclusives each day. So the Castration squad has come. Hasbro has decided to go woke, and Mrpotatohead has been degendered, so now it's an inclusive toy. Now, it's very important that the genetics of a creature with legs sticking out of its head and a nose for a mouth be, woke and diverse and tolerant. I'm thinking to myself, they already have Mrs. Potato Head, and you have, like, the baby Potato Head as well from, like, the 80s or whatever, and like, the assumption is that they're male and female because they made baby Potato Head. I'm just thinking about how stupid it is because it's not even really a humanoid toy. It's a slightly anthropomorphic potato with random holes in its body that you can plug with various organs. They should have a Mr. Internal Potato Head where the organs are inside and you can mess them up too. The whole fucking point of the toy is almost gender bending when you really think about it. Anytime you've got an arm for a cock. That's basically the point of the toy. I can't think of a toy that less needed inclusivity and diversity and an explanation of genetics. I can't think of another toy. I mean, it's like, at least with like Barbie and Ken and stuff like that, if you're complaining about it, okay, there's obviously a gender role there, as it represents humans in the specific sense. This is like, it doesn't make any sense. You should have an anatomically correct version instead, and you can just have like your Tumblr genders for that. So, one is a purple dragon dick, and you can have one with tentacles, and that's the Japanese one. You should have something like that if you want to be woke. If you want, by the way, the same millennials that liked Mr. Potato Head and Gen X too, to buy another one, just mess them up even more. And this doesn't solve any problem. It's sort of like when a company decides that a voice actor is the wrong race or gender or something for a character, and so they erase that person from the show, or they go back and they eliminate someone that's no longer considered woke and politically correct from an old show or something. They just cancel them, like taking Trump out of Home Alone 2 or whatever, and then they declare racism is over. We've ended sexism. Misogyny and homophobia are in the past. Why? Because you deleted something from 30, 40 years ago. And it doesn't really, it's basically, it's the standard NIMBYist kind of hand-wringing thing that they do, because you're not really solving a problem. The whole point is just to feel like you're solving a problem. I contributed. I didn't get off my ass and actually do anything. I pressured somebody else to do something. This is how environmentalism has begun to work. Back in the 90s, it was plant a tree, recycle more, pick up some trash, volunteer, save the whales, join Greenpeace or something. That was environmentalism, I can remember. My mom was kind of hippie-trippy, and we had like the hippie stickers and stuff, and she'd go to the co-op and, it was buy bulk and all this shit. And that was what, in the 90s, we were told to do. And it was feel-good nonsense, some of it, but, you helped marginally. But you were doing something. Now environmentalism is, hey, I gave $10 to another group that claims to be doing environmentalism. Hey, I told the government to raise taxes on business more to disenfranchise them if they spew out toxic waste, driving them overseas where there are no workers' protections either. I bitched on the internet about it. I complained. I signed a change.org petition. I joined a Vaz or something. None of these things actually do anything. This isn't going to change the minds of a single person who is actually hateful against someone else for the way they dress or what gender they decide that they want to be this weekend. And by the way, gender expression is malleable. Yeah, you can express your gender any way you want. Gender is, we should start thinking about it in the rational scientific sense of chromosomes. And there are people with chromosomal abnormalities. Ultimately, it boils down to whether you do or do not have a Y chromosome. Don't care how you dress. Don't care how you fuck. Shouldn't matter to anyone what you choose to deem yourself. If you think that you're a dinosaur kin and it's in your head and you believe it, it's your decision. As long as you're going around life, you're not victimizing anyone, and it's not interfering with your ability to do what you need to do, who fucking gives a shit? This is why there's sort of a cutoff point when you say, oh, well, I want to be trans-amputated, so I want you to remove my legs. Well, that's not necessarily medically healthy. You can say, well, the person has a higher suicide rate if we don't chop their legs off. Okay, at that point, you're getting a little bit into the realm of lunacy. With regards to Mr. Potato Head's gender, though, it's fairly clear Mr. Potato Head is whatever species this potato happens to be, and it's not really just a potato because it has eyes and shit. It has 5 legs. Did it really need to be woke? It's not, I mean, also the skin tone of the character is perfect because Mr. Potato Head is clearly not white or black or anything like that, and can sort of pass as a mixed race or anything else. It doesn't matter though, it's a fucking potato. It didn't need to be woke. And they keep doing this, like next thing to say, well, Slinkies are a little bit too phallic. So we're going to change them to make them more rounded because, we want girls to recognize that as a vulva or something. It's meaningless. It's people trying to do good and failing miserably. And Hasbro is just a corporation. Look, these toys are made in China by little kids, like the one that you have that's playing with, Potato Head at this point, or bi-gendered Potato Head, I suppose, out of toxic materials. They probably were formed in a slurry vat that had a 10% inclusion of toxic waste anyway, and then your kid sits there, teething on it probably, and, gets leukemia because of it. In an environmental condition that's basically smog city, and yet it's woke. We're contributing. The American left has gone, by the way, completely insane. The identitarian left, which is what you might as well call them, the social justice warrior uber-wokers, the wokels, these people are the dregs of society. And the corporations, by the way, they're doing this to make money, or they wouldn't be doing this at all. What they realize is that those leftists will rant loud and long about if there's a gendered product, there's a racial ambiguousness or anything like that, what'll happen is that their sponsors and partners will be attacked. You look at the MyPillow guy. The MyPillow guy goes to a meeting with Trump and then a bunch of stores drop him. Why? It's not because the product sucks. It's because they were afraid of their sponsors getting attacked. Their partners dropped the pillow so that they wouldn't be canceled by other brands. That's what happened. They were worried about money. It's all about the greenbacks. They're not doing it, Hasbro didn't get up this morning and say, well, you know what, we need to erase gender stereotypes. Because the toy with a leg for a dick and a nose for an arm and 3 arms sticking out of the side of its head needs to be woke. If it's not, then the world will fall apart. Very funny subject, though. It's always funny as well when they walk it back. And they're like, no, we just want it to be more inclusive or something. Okay, well, no, you canceled Mr. Potato Head. That's about all. Peace out.